I love sending Kym pictures because she gets irritated. Whatever irritates Kym, I like to do.
Funny mamas.
So
Two funny mamas.
Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Two Funny Mamas. I'm Sherri Shepherd.
And I'm Kym Whitley, and we are happy to have y'all today. Let me tell you something. We've been waiting on this day.
We've been waiting on this day so much but we have a special guest who is joining us today.
We have a bunch of special guests joining us today.
But we have someone sitting here right on the
It's
screen.
okay. All right.
This man right here, we got to talk about this man right here. This is Willis Turner, y'all. And we want to introduce Willis Turner, y'all. Willis, we've known Willis about 20 years doing stand-up comedy. At one point, we both liked Willis.
I still like Willis.
I
never knew that.
And you know when Willis got married on us. You know when you like a dude and then they go get married and then you find out.
And then you want to tell him.
I
liked you.
I liked you.
Yeah. That's
but he married.
Why didn't y'all bust in? Why didn't y'all bust in like congratulations? I thought it should have been me.
Like, why are you yelling?
I don't know, because I just gotta. I'm gonna make this confession to Willis real quick because I love his wife. Lonnie said to me, because I said to Lonnie, I said, you know, Willis, we've been friends with Willis so long, and they say you should look at your friends. Yes. I think I'm gonna ask Willis out, and she said, really? Because he getting married like next week.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
What?
Because Willis, let me tell you something. I ain't seen you, Willis, in about, 15 years? You ain't look like this. Right. Willis look good. Grown?
What do you mean I look good?
You used to look 12.
Yeah.
You used to look really young, Willis.
Yes. I know. Everybody. I was getting carded. I've been getting carded since. I can't get nobody to think I'm an old man. Like that's what I was trying to look for. That's why I don't shave. I don't color my hair. I want to look like an old man. I want to be seasoned.
Well, this is a great thing about marriage. It makes you look like an old man now.
Wow. Now you just called him an old man.
No, not an old man.
You did. You just said
You just said I look like an old man. Basically, you look like you just said it looks like I should be handing out chores. Like everybody get up. We gonna everybody wake up. We gonna see.
That's exactly what you said.
Exactly.
No, you look seasoned, and congratulations on your marriage. I'm glad that out of the three of us, you have actually got it right, Willis.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know about that. The first time I didn't get it right.
But look, y'all, we this is a special podcast today.
It is,
and
but we had to.
I know we had to talk to that because I got to ask. I'm gonna tell y'all something. We'll do it later about my dog, and I want you to tell me if he ate the.
Well, why don't you tell us now? We got
2 seconds. We had
time to banter.
My friend Nikki was like, "You don't really have time to be running."
Okay, we got it.
She said, "Tell Sherri to stop talking." That's what she said.
This is a special podcast, y'all, and we wanted to bring on Willis because he's a father of two teenagers, 14 and 15, correct, Willis?
Correct.
And he is married. And so we have been talking about this episode, our September 30th episode, for a while now, because it's something we've been talking about vaccines.
Yes.
A lot about vaccines, and there's been a lot of questions. We keep getting stuff wrong.
And there's a lot of disparity in these vaccines in the Black community.
And at one point, even I had said about the Tuskegee Airmen in vaccines, and people jumped on me.
But she fixed that up.
I fixed it. But we want to get stuff right.
Yeah.
Willis, we're excited. And that's why we brought you on to ask questions too.
Black people should be the first to get vaccinated. If you eat chitlins, you should be vaccinated.
We do put some stuff in our body with the chitlins, but we're not here to tell people they got to get vaccinated. Right. We're here to just present stuff to our community so that an informed decision can be made about what you want to do.
And that's what's important.
And that's what we're so excited because we partnered up with the Ad Council and COVID Collaborative to bring you this special podcast. That's right. And we have a special guest.
Yep. Because it's all about education. We're going to give y'all the information and y'all going to make the decision.
And you make the decision.
That's right. So we'd like to bring
make a decision.
Make a decision. Why he roll his eyes? You get your questions ready.
Don't tell anybody they have to get vaccinated, Willis. It's up to them to make a decision.
You don't have to get vaccinated. There is no law.
there's about to be one, but we're going to bring on a medical expert that can tell the people what they need to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Finally, we got a medical expert. That's what everybody keeps saying. When y'all going to have a medical expert? Because you and Kym keep getting everything wrong.
Well, let's bring her on, our medical expert who has obviously been in the medical field for 20 years.
Because she's an expert.
Because she is an expert. And she will answer these questions. Please welcome to Two Funny Mamas, Dr. Wosu.
Yes! Sorry.
Hello.
How are you? And welcome to Two Funny Mamas. This is Willis Turner.
This is Willis Turner.
Hey.
Dr. Willis, I just wanted to ask Doctor, where's your mom? Is that the doctor that we should be talking to? Because you look so young.
Right.
Dr. Wosu, playing operation does not make you a doctor. You cannot be like you cannot have been a doctor for at least 2 years, the past 2 years.
We're going to add a 0 to that too. It's been 20 years I've been in practice. Okay.
What is you using? What kind of vaccine are you using? COVID-19?
Y'all can visit me in DC. I'll tell y'all all my secrets.
That's a serum you using.
And I got a friend, Dr. Mack, who's a dermatologist in DC. I'm going to show her your picture and say, now you need to make me look like her.
I'm telling you. Not to take away from your genes. Not to take away from your professional thing, Dr. Wosu, but you got the fountain of youth on lock.
And if you're that pretty on the outside, I know you're that pretty on the inside beautiful. And smart. So we are excited to have
Mama.
You. And on a serious note, we have got to talk about the vaccine.
Yeah.
And the questions and the concerns behind it.
Yes.
Especially around school-age children.
Because we're all parents over here. Willis is a parent. Yes. I'm a parent. And Kym
is sometimes a parent.
Kym, well, I was going to say sometimes, sometimes you don't feel like you're a good parent, especially with this COVID vaccine. My question is, can we start in on the question?
Yeah, let's start.
Dr. Wosu, I am feeling like my son is 16 years old. He's still in his formative years. He's still, things are developing in his body. What is this vaccine going to do to my child, DNA-wise?
That's great that you asked that because you used the keyword DNA, and I've heard that a lot. So the Pfizer vaccine, which he's approved to get, it has nothing to do with DNA, doesn't touch your DNA, doesn't affect your DNA. It is a mRNA virus, messenger ribonucleic acid. The DNA is in your nucleus. When you get the vaccine, which is this mRNA virus, it goes into your cytoplasm, away from the nucleus, doesn't touch it, interfere with it, alter it, change it at all. So you have nothing to worry about as far as his growth, his development, his fertility status, his ability to procreate and give you grandchildren. All of that will not be affected with this vaccine.
Well, then
Doctor, I'm going to need you first to give me a thesaurus because you use words I ain't never heard of. So, you said so my thesaurus and convoluted, and you said it won't touch some other stuff. So anyway, you really have gotten, first of all, everybody is rushing to their dictionary during this conversation.
So then I guess the question is, this vaccine, is this vaccine different than any vaccines we've ever gotten since a child?
It is different. It uses a different technology. And that is the truth. It uses a technology which is based on mRNA. So that's just an abbreviation. A lot of the older technologies maybe use an inactivated version of the virus, but this does not use that. This is very innovative, but I do want to point out, because a lot of people are saying, oh, this is new. They never tried this before. It came out too fast. I mean, this mRNA, this was discovered in the 60s, to be honest with you. And it was in the 80s that they started to test it as a vaccine. And in 1995, they used it to create a rabies vaccine. So this is not new at all. This is tried and true, trusted technology. Now, the Pfizer Moderna vaccines, they use this is new, of course, because we never had it before. But the technology behind it is not new. It's been studied. And this vaccine is safe.
Did they have, okay, I'm hearing so much about this Delta variant. I thought that I went and got this vaccine. I thought I was fine. Now it's the Delta variant. Now some from Brazil. Now Africa got some. Why get the vaccine? What's the point?
Great question. And so the reason that we are getting these variants is because we haven't achieved herd immunity. A lot of people haven't been vaccinated. So that does allow the virus a chance to change and mutate and try to, hide. And so you're getting these different variants. You talked about Delta, which is the predominant virus right now in most countries. Mu is in South America. And so that's the reason. However, fortunately, these vaccines are effective against the variants. That's the great thing about it. They've created something that will still target the Delta variant, the Alpha variant, the Mu variant. We just need to get it so that we can stop the variants from happening. We're going to go through the Greek alphabet before you know it. We have to stop the variants. In order to do that, we need to get more people vaccinated.
Could you explain herd immunity to people?
Because when they first used it on me, I said, "Did you just call me a cow?" I didn't like it at all. I didn't know what herd immunity was.
So herd immunity is when enough of the population has been vaccinated so that it stops spreading, period. Okay. That's a simple, no need a thesaurus for this, a simple explanation on what herd immunity is. Enough people have been vaccinated so that the transmission rate is low, and then of course it stops, it disappears. Similar to what we've seen with other viruses in the past, whether it was measles, mumps, rubella, same situation happened with that, and we're hoping for the same situation with this.
Okay. Now, I have a 10-year-old. I'm sorry, did you want to say something, Willis? Because you're a guest.
I wanted to know, does COVID have a passport? It's the African version, the Brazilian version, the Delta variants. Why so many variances? Like, who is COVID hiding from?
It's a global issue, and that's why they actually started to use Greek lettering versus countries, because they didn't want to stigmatize the country, calling it the South African version and the Colombia version. So they started using Greek letters to kind of characterize that virus. And if they're using the Greek letter, that means it's definitely a variant of importance and a variant of concern. And so when you hear Delta Mu, yes, it's something that should alert all of us. But the reasons why the variants are happening is because we have other countries who are not as fortunate as the United States to have vaccines at every pharmacy, every grocery store. They're still struggling to get it. And so that's also another concern in how to get other countries vaccinated like we are.
Oh my goodness.
If it's so effective against the variants, Dr. Wosu, why are they telling me I have to get a booster? I feel like I just got 2 shots.
And that was a struggle to get
me to get that. Now they want me to get the flu shot. I mean, I'm like, now it's a booster shot that they're talking about.
Yeah.
When does it stop?
The booster right now, is not for you. It's for 65 and over. And for those who are and for those who are immunocompromised, and that's just because of the status of their immune system. For instance, 65, you have to get your pneumonia shot. Well, you had it as a child. Well, that same pneumonia shot's not going to stick with you until you're 65. So that's similar to this. Because of their immune system and how fatal this particular virus can be, we don't want those antibodies to fall to a level of unprotection. So we want to boost their system again to be able to still fight it for a longer period of time.
But let me get to why we're here. We're really here to this particular podcast is we want to focus on children and the vaccine, because that is a concern of mine, it's a concern of other parents. Joshua is 10 years old. Even when he was born, I was very hesitant in the vaccines, all of them, because of, what people say, autism and this, and, be very careful. I think just a vaccine period, parents are already nervous. What is it that we would know, or you as a doctor can tell me, that when they come out with the vaccine for my child, that you could tell me it's safe? Like, I'm just wondering for a 10-year-old.
Sure. Well, based on this study, so before they approved it, well, just recently they made the recommendation, but before they approve it for that next group of population 5 to 11, they're testing it. And so they have tested it on almost 3,000 children before it comes to you. Bold and brave children here who signed up to be volunteers. So it has been tested, and they followed them over the course of time to make sure that it's safe, to make sure that they are getting the protection and what the vaccine is supposed to do. And so it is safe. And the fact that the technology that they're using hasn't proven itself to be dangerous in any way or form. And so I think knowing about the technology that it has been studied for a long period of time, Kym, it wasn't just developed overnight. Also making sure that it went through phase 1 trials and phase 2 trials and phase 3 trials, just like any other any other vaccine lets you know that it is safe for him to get. I'm a parent too. I have a 13-year-old and I have an 11-year-old. One received it, my 13-year-old, my 11-year-old hasn't. But was I first in line? Honestly, no. I wanted to read the study, find out who was in who the participants, did anything happen? And then I was comfortable giving it to my son. That's my firstborn son. So yeah, I didn't do it just, okay. I mean, I wanted to make sure it was safe for him. And I trust the science and I trust what I read.
The polio vaccine, when we got it, Dr. Wosu, I really think you're too young to remember the polio vaccine, but because you look so young. But I remember when we got the polio vaccine.
Are you trying to tell me that you was around when the polio vaccine came out?
Yes, I was. Because
you did not get no polio. You did not get no polio vaccine.
You had a sugar cube in school. They gave you for the sugar cube. That was.
There's still polio. My son got a polio vaccine.
Don't you tell me I wasn't around. I did the polio.
You wasn't around when they invented the polio vaccine.
Polio. What I'm trying to say.
You do not. Look, Sherri, FDR, you don't remember watching FDR getting inauguration. You act like you were there at the FDR. I held the Bible for FDR. No, you didn't. Sherri, you're not that old.
What I'm asking Dr. Wosu, because we're talking about children being young taking the COVID-19 vaccine. But when we were young, we were very young when we took the polio vaccine in school when they gave us the sugar cube.
I don't remember no.
You don't remember taking the polio vaccine?
Yeah, but not no sugar cube. That was, I don't know what you was taking.
Yeah, they tricked you. They tricked you.
But what I'm saying, I'll get me off topic, is when kids were we were kind of at the same age in school when we had to take a vaccine, when we had to take the polio vaccine, and we have very few cases of polio. So it's this distrust of kids being so young.
Within 2 days of birth, Sherri, you have to get the hepatitis B vaccine. I mean, that's probably the very first one you get before you even can open your eyes, as a child. And nothing has happened with that, and then you get measles, mumps, rubella. I mean, all of those vaccines, this is nothing different. They're not going to hurriedly put something out there that's dangerous for us and our children. I mean, that's the point of protecting them.
Well, what I do appreciate is that all the medical field got the vaccine first. And I tell people, I say, so they're going to just wipe out all the medical field in the world.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be fending for ourselves.
Because I need my OBGYN.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
95% of physicians have been vaccinated. Close to 100%.
Okay, so,
Willis want to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Willis.
I want to know, is an attitude, my daughter giving me attitude, a side effect, a COVID or the vaccine?
You may need to check her monthly calendar.
Oh!
You're right. You're right, Doc. I'm right.
Don't tell Dr. Wilson. She don't know what she's talking about. That's a womanly thing. That's not COVID.
Okay, hilarious. You have all this information. First of all, where are you calling from? Like, where
am I now? Oh, I'm in the DC area.
Oh, we was just wondering. Okay, we was wondering.
And just because, we know you, But our listeners and our viewers don't know you. Could you give us a little of your background so they know we didn't call our cousin and give her a white
It said, Janicia, tell Bank of America you're going to be in the break room for 20 minutes. Just start talking. Because you know that's what people think.
I am Dr.
You should have had a stethoscope.
I am the straight talk doctor. So I give straight talk to my patients in my office, in my community, and that's what I'm known for. I give it to you straight in the truth. And to be honest, of course, this pandemic has pivoted a lot of my conversation to COVID-19, the vaccine, and the virus, but still, I want to give it to you straight. And our community needs to hear from us, a familiar face, someone who looks like your girlfriend or your sister or your mother. So that's what I'm happy to be here. And I'm happy that you guys are having this conversation.
That's where I knew you from. You look like my girlfriend. That's where it is. You look like my girlfriend.
I just wanted to tell you. I do. she do look like my cousin. No, that's you know people, and people going, well, wear a stethoscope. Where is your stethoscope, doctor?
I should have my stethoscope. It's blinged up too. It's nice.
I like
She that new doctor. She that new doctor.
You're a family doctor?
Internal medicine doctor. Yes.
And I wanted to tell our listeners.
20 years.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Wosu. Okay. I wanted to tell our listeners and our viewers, if you haven't, we're going to continue this conversation, but if you want to know more, you want more answers, please go to, I don't have my glasses. GetVaccineAnswers.org.
On the screen. GetVaccineAnswers.org.
And this is where you can even find out more.
I got some more questions.
We're not done with the questions.
Okay. I just want to hurry up and ask. Now this ain't got nothing to do with the kids right now. We'll go back to the kids. But this was interesting. Getting COVID and taking the vaccine at the same time, because what I realize is they're not testing people before they give you the vaccine. What if you have COVID and then you take the vaccine? Is that a problem? Or what do you think?
Well, one, if you have symptoms of COVID, you really shouldn't take the vaccine at that time. You really should wait for those COVID symptoms to go away. But yes, there probably is someone who unknowingly had it, but they were asymptomatic. And so that was fine. That would not cause any problems at all.
But if you have symptoms, do not take the vaccine. Okay.
I know someone, my cousin's friend took the vaccine and their balls swole up.
That was Nicki Minaj. That was not you.
I had a cousin whose balls.
So again, that's not talking.
Oh, sorry, his testicles. His testicles.
You know what? That was
COVID. That's STD. That's STD.
Exactly.
That's not COVID. No.
Oh, that was an STD.
Let me tell you something. If that was the side effect, you got some large testicles. You know how many guys be like, I want my testicles large.
I just wanted to clear that up, doctor.
I'm lining up for the shot.
I'm going to get the shot.
Another myth that is not.
I got one more question.
So if you got a pre-existing medical condition, doctor, how does the COVID vaccine? I mean, if you already have something pre-existing, then how does that COVID-19 vaccine? Does it help you still? I mean, what are the effects of that?
No, it definitely helps you still. It helps you the same as it would help someone without. However, if you were to get the virus, you were at a higher risk than other people. And the purpose of the vaccine is to prevent severe complications from the virus. And so those people with comorbidities, they're at a higher risk and they definitely need to be vaccinated.
What word did she say?
That's that thing we need to do. When you say comorbidities,
the thesaurus.
Yeah, I thought you used the word comorbidities. Didn't you use
comorbidities?
We don't even know.
Hold on, Dr. Wosu. I want you to go to the chalkboard and use that in a sentence.
Comorbidity.
If they have,
I need you to go to this chalkboard and write that word out and use that in a sentence, because there is no word. Hold on a second. No, she said comorbidity. What was that?
People who have underlying health conditions they are at a higher risk.
Say that.
You couldn't just say that.
Severe
Doc.
complications.
In this 20 years.
She's showing her little education.
That's what you
Yeah,
should.
I appreciate you, Doc.
So Dr.
I'm using
Wosu,
that today.
comorbidity. I'm gonna use it on my Bumble profile. What I'm gonna use it on? I got comorbidity.
No, don't say that. No, she said
You about to get knocked off Bumble.
yeah.
So doctor, oh my God, y'all gonna make me forget what I was gonna say. So doctor, walk me through, because I think a lot of people go, you know, I thought you could get the COVID and then you still get sick. So what's the difference if I'm not vaccinated versus if I'm vaccinated? I still could get sick.
Yeah, there are 42 million people who were sick, but of that 42 million, 700,000 of them are dead. And so I wouldn't really walk around nonchalant, like I could still get COVID. The purpose of the vaccine is to prevent severe complications and death from this virus. And that's what it does 95% of the time. It's undoubtedly the best thing you can do to protect yourself.
Dr. Wosu, do you think about making birthday cards? Because you like, and 700 are dead. Okay.
I want to see people with more birthdays, but unfortunately, if you're not getting vaccinated, you won't have the birth. You know, I need that. I wish I could go into business with that. I want to see more birthdays, which is the only reason why I'm continuing to advocate for this.
Okay.
I love that she is here to present the facts. And that's what people need to hear, the facts from a doctor, not from us, because we're not in any of this. So
exactly.
We appreciate you being here. Now, I have one more question. This is what a lot of people want to know. How is it that some people can lay next to their wife in the same house, have COVID, and not give it to their husband? Or like my son, you know, when my son had a COVID scare, his friend came over, was positive, and so I had to quarantine. But he was in my son's face. They were playing outside, but he tested negative. How does that happen?
That's a great question. Well, in the case of your son, he couldn't get vaccinated. But for others, you know, one, were they vaccinated? Because, of course, that would protect them. But two, it depends on the robustness of that person's immune system. For instance, your son, if his immune system was just on, you know, a high level, then great. That means that it was fighting something off. And then secondly, it depends on the viral load of his friend. How much COVID virus did the friend have, and what stage of infectivity was he in? So one, how much viral did he have to give? You know, was he coughing? How much was that being transmitted to your son? And then on the other hand, what stage was he in? Was he on the latter end, you know, of being infectious, or early?
So my niece, Dr. Wosu, my niece, we had to put her in high school in Texas. And you know, in Texas, the governor is not enforcing the mask mandate. So my sister, her mom has pre-existing conditions with diabetes. And she is terrified because it's a new school. Nobody's wearing a mask. She's terrified because she wants to fit in, but she doesn't want to make her mother sick. Are there any tips that you can give kids on? That's not natural for kids to be wearing a mask in school. Are there any tips you can give us as parents on how to encourage them to keep that mask on, and about getting bullied?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have a lot of physicians whose children are in states that don't require mask mandates. And it's been a really tough issue because they are almost standing alone, you know, in that field. Yeah. But absolutely, she should wear a mask, you know, with the health condition of her mother. And she's going to get asked the question. And she just has to be, I mean, it's an honest answer. You know, data has shown that this mask is going to prevent me from giving COVID, and I do not want to pass it on to my mother. And that is the choice that I've made. And children are going to have to set themselves apart and stand on, you know, their beliefs, just like the people not wearing masks are standing on their beliefs. But she has to, and she has to understand the reason why she's doing it, be confident in why she's doing it, and knowing that, yeah, she is doing something to protect the health of her mother. And that's very, I applaud her for being young and wanting to do the right thing. That's phenomenal.
Oh, I'm sorry, Willis, did you want to ask the doctor something?
No, I got to get going in a second here.
Oh, you have to get going, Willis. No,
Yeah,
we want to
but
let you go because you spend a lot of time, and
We appreciate
your wife
you.
might walk through and wonder why you're on Zoom with 3 different women. So,
Well, thank you, Willis
yeah.
Turner, for joining. If you have any closing
we
remarks or questions,
anything you want to close with, Dr. Wosu?
she's not closing.
No, Willis.
What did it say, Willis and
Yeah.
not Dr.
I'm sorry. I'm looking Willis.
Ladies, I want to thank you guys for having me on the show. I had a great time. I love you both. And I wish y'all would have told me sooner before I got married that I had a chance with either one of y'all. And Dr. Wosu, I understand we couldn't make it because we broke up in 82. So I thank you. Look, I know she was like 4 years old. You can catch me actually on Instagram at Willis Turner Comedy. Thank you guys. 2 funny mamas. I love you. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great show.
Thank you, Willis. Willis, we love you. Bye. Dr. Wosu, my question is, so I see the benefits of adults getting the COVID-19 vaccine, but what are the benefits of somebody like Joshua or even somebody younger getting this vaccine?
So I'm not sure what was happening in California, but here in Virginia, we did virtual school last year.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take another year of virtual school. I need these kids at home. And that was really difficult. So getting the vaccine, yes, will help them go back to school and stay in school. That's number one. You want to prevent teachers and children, masses of teachers and children getting the vaccine and, of course, closing schools again. Number two, we know how children love their grandparents. They go visit their aunts, their uncles, their godparents, kiss and hug on them. And they're a possible source of transmission, a huge source of transmission. And so it's not just about the health of your child, of course, it's about the health of your extended family and your community and spreading it to people who ordinarily would not have had it. And then third, yes, their health. We want our babies protected. Both my children have asthma. So for them to get the virus would not be a pretty picture. And so I want to do whatever it is in my power to protect them against that. And I'm sure most parents want to do the same thing. And then the area that not too many people discuss, they talk about the symptoms of COVID and they understand people who may have passed away from it, but it's a huge middle portion of people who have what's called long COVID. And these are people who've had symptoms for over 3 months. Could you imagine being short of breath, fatigue, can't make up your bed, can't do the normal things you used to do because of this virus? And so I can go on and on and on about the reasons why, but I think those speak for itself. About 5 million children have had COVID.
Oh,
wow. You don't want that number to continue to increase. And so again, the vaccine is approved for 12 and over. We're hoping by the end of the year, it will be for the 5 and 11 category, and more people get vaccinated, and those situations that I presented will not exist, will not occur.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. Then what are the short-term and long-term side effects for the vaccine dealing with children?
Sure. So it's pretty much similar to the side effects that the adults had when they had the vaccine. It's maybe some soreness at the injection site, fatigue. My son slept for 12 hours after the vaccine, which was fine. I needed him to lay down anyway. But of course, you have some pain at the injection site, fever, headache. But again, these are all very short-lived side effects, 24, 48 hours at max. And as far as long-term is concerned, there are no long-term side effects that we see of right now. But we do know long-term side effects of getting the COVID virus.
Now, Dr. Wosu, I know I just got to go back to this. Kids who are 12 years old, how does this vaccine affect their fertility? It hasn't even developed yet. You got a vaccine going in their body.
But you've had a vaccine going in their body since they were born.
We're getting the facts from Dr. Wosu, not the girl who was supposed to become an architect with the rest of her family, and she decided to become a comic.
Okay, point taken.
There we go.
Yeah, a good question. I hear that question a lot. But what's interesting is that for some reason, people are holding this vaccine to a standard that they don't hold anything else by. It's quite interesting, but similar to your measles, mumps, rubella vaccine that didn't cause any fertility issues, your varicella vaccine for chickenpox, this does not cause any fertility issues. Like I said again, it has nothing to do with your ovulation, your reproductive system. It doesn't work that way. It is simply a vaccine that allows your body to produce antibodies against the virus, period. So when that virus comes, you can attack. You have antibodies ready in formation to attack that virus. That's it.
You know, that is really good that you said that, because first of all, I would like to know who started that. Who started the "it's gonna mess with your fertility"? It's gonna
we
mess
always
with your
wonder about our
DNA.
fertility and our DNA. I think, that's something that it means a lot to us, fertility. We,
Well,
you want thinking about having babies. That's what you think about.
no, that's not what I think about as a kid.
No, it's the parents, not the
that you're gonna have
kids.
grandkids.
But
I want to. I just, the way she said this, doc. Now tell me if I'm wrong or right. I just want to say, a doctor explained this to me, how this works. That is really the vaccine is like the messenger to your immune system, to your cells. It's like it goes in and gives your cells or your immune system a letter and says, "Hey, there's this robber coming to your house." So I want you to get prepared.
they really had to dumb it down for you, didn't they?
Let me tell you something. The way they broke it down, it made sense that it made,
So here's a robber.
to understand that it's a messenger. She said it also. It is a messenger to your system that is saying, get ready, here it comes. And for your body to prepare for this robber to come in or whatever. I mean, I'm just trying to, so people will understand it,
I
Doc.
see why you didn't become an architect.
No, that's a good way to put it. It gives a message to your cells to produce the spike protein, and your body reacts to that, so that when your body really does see the spike protein in the form of coronavirus, you already have antibodies in your immune system ready to attack. Correct. Twice.
So Dr.
Yes, correct. Nah.
I apologize that Dr. Wosu had to dumb it down for you as well. I'm sorry. Apologies. Dr. Wosu, here's the thing. We Black. Okay, we Black. This is, I gotta go here. Black people and their faith. Us and our faith. A lot of folks, especially in my family, are saying to me, God is going to protect me from getting this vaccine. I can do herbs, fruits and vegetables from God. I keep hearing God, no vaccine. I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, I mean, there is a God. He's a loving God. He's a God who created doctors and our awesome nurses and our anesthesiologists and our respiratory therapists and our researchers. He created us all. He created something. There is nothing that exists that did not have God involved, nothing good. And so when it comes to this virus, this is not exclusionary of his wonderness. I mean, his wonderfulness. This is inclusion of it. I mean, why would we remove this from all the wonderful things that he's done? Just like someone with breast cancer, when chemotherapy cures them, we thank God cures them. We thank God for that medication. Same situation with this vaccine. I thank God that we're not still dealing with measles and mumps and rubella and polio. And I'm hoping one day I'm going to thank God that this virus has been eradicated, because we've achieved herd immunity by many of us getting vaccinated. And so, no, God is definitely involved in this. And I'm thankful for my faith as a physician, because when I walk in a room with my patients, or I'm on the phone with them and I'm talking through this with them, people who weren't vaccinated, and they are crying on the other end of that line, the only thing I can give them is the love of God.
Wow. Thank you for that. That's a really awesome answer about God being in the midst of the vaccines. If we trust in him, that he created a Dr. Wosu, and gave that gift to you and to the nurses and the people who create these, the polio and chemo and, breast cancer medication, that cream that you needed, that you had to take for 7 days. Remember that one?
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her.
That is
Don't listen. I ain't here to take no cream. No, I'm not. Get off me. No, she's trying to take me down, Doc. Okay, so Doc, look, okay, Doc.
But I wanted to throw, I wanted to tell our listeners and our viewers on that note, there's going to be a Christian comedy show. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hosted by Kev on Stage. Kev on Stage is one of the funniest comics out there. This is going to take place, and I want to get it right, October, I think it's, where's my glasses? October 2nd, and I got them right here.
October 2nd, Kev on Stage.
And it's from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's going to be live streamed on Kev on Stage's Facebook. So you can go to find out more. There's the flyer right there, but you can go to Kev on Stage, his Facebook page, to watch the comedy show. We're going to have, they're going to have faith-based leaders. They're going to have folks from the medical community answering questions. And it really has a lot to do about your faith and taking this vaccine, because that's a big deal with people, this vaccine. And God, we didn't get asked to do this comedy show. I don't know why.
You know why.
Something sacrilegious about both of us.
Yeah, because have you watched the podcast?
Yeah. Oh, and that brings me to this, Dr. Wosu. I'm going to take it away from kids for a moment. First of all, how many Black people was involved in the trials for getting this doggone vaccine together?
Well, 10%. It was a good amount. It was 10%.
Oh, okay.
So Black people were involved in all trials, all 3 trials.
But you know how we are with trials and things
yeah,
like that. No, I wanted Dr. Wosu to answer. You know how we are about these trials and things. So anyway, Dr. Wosu, I'm single. She's single. We're dating now. Or at least I'm dating. You see her attitude. She don't have dates yet. So we're dating. How does this work? I got 2 dates I'm going on. We both vaccinated. I make sure everybody vaccinated. How that's supposed to work? I'm not wearing no mask.
What do you mean? You just said he's not vaccinated.
No, I said I don't deal with no vaccinated.
But what if I do? What I'm saying is, what if
they got to be vaccinated?
What if they're not? Look, this is the pool. This is the thing. I need people to go to this website and get their answers, because when you talk to a man and you say, "Are you vaccinated?" They, I'm in
the studio.
Yeah.
I mean,
getvaccineanswers.org. Let me tell you, people, you got to go here and get your answers, because it is difficult to bring that up and say, hey,
so this is what we asked the doctor. How do you bring this up?
I'm just going to say Delta variant is no joke. So I would not unnecessarily expose yourself to someone who's not vaccinated.
Okay, wait. You're married.
Wait. Are you saying that the Delta variant is worse than the regular corona?
It's more transmissible. Yes. So that's why you see the rates going up. This particular variant is more transmissible than the prior variant. So that's why this is a concern.
Are you married?
Yes.
Because I love when married folks tell me, Sherri, I would be very careful about what you do. Love my married folks.
It's my 15-year anniversary on Thursday.
Oh, well, that's what I would like to get.
First of all, happy anniversary. You don't just be rude to the doctor.
Happy anniversary, Dr. Wosu. But I too would like to get 15 years by going on a date.
By the time you get to 15 years, honey, you'll be getting in the grave. So you better hurry up.
So we know it's dangerous. All right. So
it's highly transmittable. That's why we got to get these kids vaccinated. So you're saying it's the spray or the misting of the coughing. It goes thinner or something.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to become infected. Correct.
So what's the variant after the Delta? The Spirit, the United. What's after Delta?
We're at Mu right now, and that's currently in South America. And then after that will be Nu. So we're at Mu, but Mu hasn't come to the U.S. Delta is still the predominant COVID variant here, and that's the one we're dealing with, which is highly transmissible. Which is where once people were kind of hesitant to get vaccinated. Oh, the story has changed. You really can't go into this thinking you'll be okay, because sometimes the question is not even if you're going to get it. Now the question may be when you get it.
That's what
I heard.
Well, I have a question.
Are you prepared for that moment? Are you vaccinated? Do you have antibodies?
Okay, so we're vaccinated. Is that should that be a question of us for us who are vaccinated? When we gonna
Well,
get
now,
it?
how long does the vaccine last? That's what I need to know. I got vaccinated in March. How much time I got, Doc?
Dumb. Oh my gosh.
You should still be mounting a response to it. It's only for that, again, that group of people who tend not to have a very powerful immune system, people who are on chemotherapy, you know, for instance, people who are on high dose steroids, people over 65. So it all depends on your immune system. So right now you should be fine.
But our question shouldn't be, we wouldn't be asking each other, so when are we going to get it? It's a chance that we could, but
there's a chance they do have breakthrough cases, but the chances of you having a severe case of it is almost zero. So you shouldn't be worried at all. You've done what you need to do.
Like that.
No, I'm not talking to you didn't answer my question though, Dr. Wosu, with the date.
Oh,
are you saying
because
I need her
not why she's on here.
You know, she's on here for this. And I want to ask in black and white because there's single women who are watching this. If I go out on a date with somebody who's vaccinated, do I need to make him get another a PCR test? And can we kiss? That's all I want to know. Miss 15 years married.
That's a very personal decision. You should confirm that they are vaccinated. Absolutely.
Do they need to take another PCR test?
If that would make you comfortable, yes.
Yeah, but vaccinated. You think people lie? Look, I was like this. Do people tell the truth that they're vaccinated?
Yeah, let me see your card.
Oh, let me see your card. That's what you need to say. Let me see your card, your vaccination card. It's gonna get to that.
I'm gonna get mine tattooed.
Let's do this. No, we gotta do. No,
okay.
Wait a minute. Let's act like. Let's see what the doctor's gonna do with this. Me and you going into the office, right?
Are we gonna be ghetto rats?
Okay, we patient, and we're gonna see what the doctor gonna say. All right, we're going. Hey, doctor. What's your name? Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Wosu.
Hey, Dr. Wosu. Look, everybody keep telling me, you know, I need to go ahead and protect myself. But I heard that it's gonna make my eyelashes fall out. Is that true?
No, that may be the glue from your lashes. That may do that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, Dr. Wosu, this is one thing that I have been very proud of. I have 6 kids, and I'm thinking about having some more. And I heard that it could affect my fertility if I want to have some more kids.
You can have your more. It will not affect your fertility as long
as the babies come out. What you say? Wait, what you say?
10 hands.
I said, just get vaccinated, and you will not affect your fertility.
Okay. I just want to make sure I don't sense no judgment in your voice.
Now, if she's pregnant, is she supposed to get vaccinated while she's pregnant?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You can?
Absolutely.
You get vaccinated while you pregnant?
Yes. 100% yes. Because there are a lot of baby orphans right now. Because a lot of mothers who were pregnant were very afraid of hurting their unborn child. Unfortunately, the mothers did get COVID and they have passed away. So there are a lot of orphan babies right now.
Terrible. Okay,
now
that you done brought doom and gloom on the conversation, Dr. Wosu.
Oh my goodness.
Another question that I have is, I have been taking turmeric, ginger, elderberry,
silver, and zinc.
I took zinc,
vitamin D.
Take vitamin D. I take movement, flat bowel movement.
Okay, all right, that's too much.
I take all of that, and I drink a gallon of water every day, and I do sea moss,
and I do
which covers 102.
Oh wait, and I boil that water and breathe in them oranges.
And I breathe in the oranges and stuff, and I pray to God.
Now, would that stop us from getting the COVID and the Delta?
Not at all. You would probably be amongst the 42 million who have had it already, and hopefully not the almost 700,000 who have died from it. It's great that you take that, but you should take that in addition to getting something that will actually prevent you from severe complications of COVID.
Oh, well, damn.
I guess then y'all should go to that website.
GetVaccineAnswers.org. Thank you, Dr.
We're going to leave your office. Bye.
Does it do anything for feminine stuff? orgasm?
Did you say? Don't ask the doctor that.
If I'm asking, I'm gonna ask. This is the only time. This is the only time I get to ask these questions. Because I've been asking Kym. She don't know.
That you need to go see your gynecologist for that. That's up.
I have something for that too. When you come see me in DC, I'll tell you another secret on that one.
We're gonna call you after.
We gonna make the ticket arrangements.
Yes.
Dr. Wosu.
All right, Dr. Wosu, we are coming. Two Funny Mamas is coming to Baltimore. We want to invite you to our show.
We do.
In November.
We do. Bring some syringes with you, girl.
Yeah, that would be absolutely great. So we have a question you said from
and a lot of our questions were actually answered, the listeners gave, but there was one lady, she said, what exactly are some of these ingredients in this doggone vaccine?
It's the mRNA. That's period. It's ingredients. That's, again, it's going to prevent you from being amongst the 42 million who have COVID right now.
You need to be asking what some of them ingredients is in that daggone cornbread,
and the
macaroni
ketchup,
and cheese, and ketchup.
The stuff that you just, ice cream, y'all eat all that stuff and ain't asked for the ingredients in that.
And nothing. Like Willis said, chitlins. If you get eating chitlins.
What's the ingredients?
This lady said she just wanted to know, this woman named Danielle, one of our listeners, she's had 3 family members with recent COVID cases. How long do they wait from the day they test negative from COVID to get their first vaccination? Because she keeps hearing wait 6 months because the antibodies got to get in your system. Somebody say hurry up and get it now. So if you've gotten it,
they are asymptomatic, they can get the vaccine. Once they're asymptomatic, they should be able to get vaccinated.
Oh, you don't have to wait 90 days?
Well, they got to check with their doctor. I think that they better find out.
They should. Now, the antibody infusion is a little different. So yes, you're right, Kym, if you get the antibody infusion, but yes, definitely check with the doctor.
The antibody infusion is what you get once you get COVID. Can everybody get that?
Right. If you have mild to moderate illness, yes. Gotcha. Mild to moderate.
It is available at every hospital, even for Black people?
Yes.
I'm making sure, because I told them put one on the side for me.
What do you say to people who say, I just don't trust the government? Because here's the facts. Governments ain't really been for us in a bunch of stuff. Black people.
Not created by the government. It was not created at all by the government. And you had so many different entities involved in this creation, in the studies, to make sure everything was cross-checked. This is government's paying, but they did not create this vaccine.
Was this vaccine created in the United States or by the whole World Federation?
There were multiple groups came together to create the vaccine. So that was at NIH. You have the NIH that was created right here in DC. And then you have Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. But again, different entities came together to run these studies, which is a great thing when you have so many different people involved to cross-check. You even have Be Safe, which is a vaccine safety app. So everyone who gets the vaccine, there's an app, you can text your symptoms, report your symptoms. They follow you throughout the whole entire process. So research is being done. People are being followed. We want to make sure that people are safe in getting it.
One other question with the schools, should they be, because there's some schools that they don't check for COVID. Should they be giving testing weekly? Should we be suggesting that to our schools? To test?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of variability in the school system. Testing will definitely identify people who have COVID to prevent the spread of it, of course. But it all depends on what that school is doing to mitigate this virus and not allow multiple students and teachers to fall ill from it. But testing is one such strategy.
And even with the COVID vaccine, kids should still get the daggone flu vaccine.
Yes. I mean,
you don't change anything.
Yeah, no, there is no, because they get this, they can't get that. Yes, they get vaccinated for all recommended vaccines.
Okay, I wanted to bring up, since we were talking about the government and we were talking about Tuskegee, again, I wanted to say the Tuskegee.
Tuskegee. Yeah, I know you went to Fisk. It's Tuskegee.
Listen. Okay, just try to understand what I'm saying here. We were talking about the PSA on the Tuskegee experiment.
Right.
You can go to getvaccineanswers.org/legacy. That's how you can find out about this PSA. Is oftentimes Tuskegee is the reason Black people and the Black community don't get vaccinated, and we want to set the record straight and hear from some. And you want to hear from some of the descendants of the men in the study. So go to this website to hear their powerful stories, so you can really understand what happened instead of us hearing it from each other and making up stories. Go to getvaccineanswers.org/legacy.
Okay.
To understand that. I heard it's powerful.
Clearing that up.
Yeah, I wanted people
Appreciate
to
that.
go.
Dr.
I
Wosu.
don't appreciate it because I was trying to say the words and then you're going to cut me off. She's tired. She got to go pick up her kids.
Dr. Wosu, this has been so informative for us. And I believe, folks in the Black community, because we've been having such a distrust of this thing and we don't know, and fear of the unknown. So we thank you for coming by to clear some things up and present some facts. Yes, Kym?
Yes, present them. Just thank you so much. We're proud that we are working with the Ad Council and COVID Collaborative on this important initiative. We want to thank our medical expert, of course, Dr. Wosu. And you know what? We'd like to say, be sure to check out getvaccineanswers.org to get some of the top questions and answers that many people in our community have right now.
And we're going to plug that comedy show one more time, the Christian comedy show with Kev on Stage, with a lot of faith leaders, with medical leaders in the community to answer your questions as it concerns your faith in getting the vaccine. So go to Kev on Stage on his Facebook page. It's October 2nd from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. That is going to be so much fun. Maybe we can call Kev on Stage and see if we can get on the doggone show to talk. But we probably won't be able to. But
let me ask, because that ain't how the people told us to end it. They told me to end it, and then you went on to that. So since we're going to end it again, let me ask Dr. Wosu, is there anything you wanted to say in closing, and then we'll close?
Well, in closing, I'm in touch with a lot of physicians around the country, right? And we all are sharing our stories, our best practices, and what we're seeing. And we're struggling, Sherri, Kym, just to completely be honest, it is a struggle, because to walk into a room of a COVID-filled room of an unvaccinated person, and we're just doing our best to save them. And to be honest, those people, they're sad, they're crying, they're asking for forgiveness. I'm so sorry, I did not get vaccinated. And
it's okay.
I understand.
We need to hear.
So it's not a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. We really want people to live their best life. We really want people to pour through this. We really want to just educate, because there's so much misinformation out there. So this is great that you guys are doing this, and I'm thankful for you and thankful for your listeners and the questions that they tuned in. And I'm hoping that I was able to give them some answers, some information. But again, they have the website, getvaccineanswers.org, and of course, seeking more information from their own physician. But thank you so much for having me.
Dr. Wosu, thank you so much for your heart and your compassion. And we just lift you up, and we are praying for the whole medical community, because we know you're out there every day on the front line working for us.
Thank you for
appreciate
caring.
you.
We appreciate that.
We really do.
We also like to take a moment and say thank you to the Ad Council and COVID Collaborative for allowing Two Funny Mamas to be a part of this important initiative. So thank you so much. And remember, everyone, go and check out getvaccineanswers.org and see some of the top questions and some of the top answers. It's important, people. We want to thank you so much for listening, and we want to thank you so much for watching Two Funny Mamas.
We love you guys. God bless.
Two funny mamas. Two funny mamas. Two funny mamas. Two funny mamas.